Hi, everyone.
Hi, guys.
So, welcome back to Just the Two of Us. So, I'm Kelly,
I'm Claire.
and today we have a very special guest.
Like the most very special, most very, she's so excited. Very special guest.
Yes, yes. If you can't see, it's our mom. Our mom's here.
Hi, everybody.
Our mom's here.
Thanks for having me on this very special podcast.
You're very welcome, Mom.
So basically, we're having Mom on here to have a different perspective because me and Claire talk about each other a lot.
Yeah, a little too much.
A little too much sometimes.
But then again, in my first episode, I said I'm a little bit of a narcissist, so I don't really mind.
It's declared narcissism. It's different.
It's different.
So we're gonna have Mom on here. We're gonna ask her a few questions, ask her to tell some stories about us.
Ooh, Is it open mic?
Any story?
We'll guide you some themes.
Let's do it.
We have themes, Mom. All right, so we're gonna start. So, Mom, we're gonna start with babies, childhood. Claire, do you want to ask the first question?
Well, I think we need some context as well.
Okay, you spell. You start.
Would they like to hear how I found out I was having twins?
Well, Mom, let's give them some context.
Is that too personal? Sorry.
Well, we just started, so let's give that a minute. So, context. Kelly and I are very, very, probably way too close with our mom.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she knows every detail. Like, Mom, compared to a normal person, to a normal girl, but it's the best part. It's my favorite part. Because I have no judgment from you. I literally tell you everything.
Yeah, we tell you everything.
Yeah.
As you should.
And obviously, not every relationship is like us with our mom because it's very special. Mm-hmm. But my mom knows pretty much everything. So every question we ask her, we don't really know the answer to, but she only gets not only our point of view, but her point of view as well. So that was the only context I want to give, is that we're super close. So there's nothing really to hide in this circle, this triangle here.
No, we believe in open, honest conversation.
Yes, as a family, the boys really love it.
I worked very hard with your brothers to maintain this face of no emotion, so you would tell me everything. But deep inside, I've been shitting my pants half the time you talk.
Okay, sorry. Wanted to give some context before I ask. So, what was it like to see us interact as babies? Were we the same as the boys or different?
Very different. No comparison to having twins. I'll be honest, having twins, you don't even raise them. It's like watching a science experiment.
Ooh.
Like, I had you, and even in the hospital, I made them put you in the same, little bassinet. Mm-hmm. And they moved you the same bassinet. And Claire, of course, is like the bolder one. I'm sure that's already established here. Laying fully sprung out, and Kelly would wriggle her little body underneath and suck on Claire's head.
Cute.
But it was really hard. Like, I mean, you both cried at the same time. Your brothers were 2 and 4. I mean, it was like every book you ever read went out the window. My pediatrician said, just keep them alive till they're 5 and you've won.
Nice.
Oh, wow. Well, a follow-up question. So was there something unique we did that you never understood when we were little?
Like everything. You guys had your own language. I never had to listen to the monitor because every morning Claire would get up and yell that it was time for both of them to eat. Kelly never said a word. Claire made sure they were both fed. She made sure diapers were changed. I mean, from infancy. I'd go down there, and as soon as she could talk, Claire would just be like, Mama, Mama, Mama. I'm like, good God, they're hungry again.
Shocking.
And sweet little Kelly would just be sitting in the crib like, yes, Claire, get me my bottle.
I am hungry.
Claire, I'm hungry. Give me something to eat.
I'm still that way. It's like a random weekday. I'm like, Claire, can you make dinner?
And as babies, we were very like, the boys just kind of ran around all day and then went to bed. You guys, because you talked to each other, like even before you could talk, you were communicating because your cribs were so close. And I woke up one night, you were probably 18 months old, and you were downstairs in the dark on the couch with a cantaloupe with a giant knife stuck in it. You had gotten yourselves out of your crib.
Oh my God.
Yep, went downstairs. You must have wanted a snack. Shocker.
Shocker.
You must have wanted a snack. And you were sitting on the couch with a cantaloupe and a knife between you. So then I had to buy those big tents that you put up over the top.
Yeah.
The meanest mom on earth. I'm like, it's different. Like they can talk, and I don't know what they're talking about, and they do things you're not supposed to do.
I'm your worst
I
influence.
was really funny. This is not even on. Kelly and I kind of made a list of questions. It's not even that. Physically, as babies, we talk about our size a lot on this podcast because I think, Loki, it's kind of hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
They were giant.
How compared to a normal size? I mean, were Kelly and I bigger than Jimmy?
Well, remember there was two of you, so normally twins aren't that like weight wise. But you guys were really long, and sorry, girls, but your feet were so long that when you were first born, your toes almost went up to your knees, and you both had like spider fingers.
Ew.
And the doctor said to me the day you were born, he goes, they are going to be very tall.
Oh my gosh.
I'm
Our
like, but
feet
they're-
were up to our knees.
You know how babies' feet kind of go
Yeah,
back?
like this.
Your toes would go right under your, like right to the top of your shin. And I was like,
No.
Yeah,
no.
and your brothers are 6'5", and they did not have that. They did not have that.
Oh my God,
You probably thought we were literally going to be like Bigfoot, like Slender Man.
You guys were big babies. You were enormous babies. And I carried you in the double carrier. I don't know what I was thinking. I almost gave my back out. Like the boys I always carried in a carrier, but you guys, I had the double one, but you two were enormous.
You're welcome.
I always put a little bow in your hair that'll try to soften things out.
I remember hearing a story from Mom once that she was always a little afraid that we were going to be a little too tall and a little too wide.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
But
Because I
here we
remember
are.
telling Dad, I'm like, they're going to be very big girls. I go, we have to like do their hair. They have to have nice clothes. I took you guys to a 4th of July party once because you were so big when you were babies. You were 4. And I brought you to a 4th of July party in your white dresses. You probably don't remember, but I bought you these beautiful white dresses. And I came around the corner and everybody was shocked. They're like, they're beautiful. And I was like,
Excuse me.
"Excuse me, what?" And they're like, you were always such bruisers. Like,
Oh, they're gonna say brats. I'm like, oh God.
you were always,
No.
you guys were always hanging with your brothers and riding like bats out of hell on any motorized thing you could get into. You grew up with brothers that were just barely older than you, and you were big. You get your height from me.
Yeah, we get it
Mom,
from
how
our
tall are you?
I'm a whopping 5'4".
Eee, that's my mom.
Mom, I have a question for you.
Yes.
So this is kind of, it's not pertaining to us, but just kind of where you stand.
Oh God, I love
if-
wine for this.
If you had Instagram
Oh,
when
God.
you
Oh,
were
terrible.
like with children, would you be like a Kardashian family? Like, would you brand our family and like put us on Instagram?
Your dad did brand you guys. You guys were never allowed to have your first names on your jerseys.
True.
And we got into the biggest argument about it because you guys were twins, right? So it worked for the boys. And he goes, no, we don't do that baby shit first name on the jersey. Like the minute you guys got a jersey, it had your last name on it. And I'm like, well, the girls are going to get their names. And he's like, no, them too. We're branding the name. I'm like, oh,
So would you get an Instagram then? For like our family, like the Ace family?
no, oh God, no. No one needs to see the train wreck behind the scenes. No, God, no.
I was curious.
That's
I don't think I will. I don't know if you would have the time to post.
I'm getting one for my
want
dog.
to see our real life. We are messy, loud,
Irish Catholics, man.
Irish Catholics, big families, disaster. No one wants to see that. No one wants to look at the 80 million pairs of giant shoes at the door.
True.
There's nothing to Instagram in our lives. No.
I had to ask. I had to because Mom.
No, but Dad did do the branding. I thought that was something. He's like, no names. So then it was C. Keith and K. Keith.
I'm still called Keith.
Except when Claire played baseball, because Kelly didn't play. Claire played baseball with all the boys, and her jersey just said Keith, and she was about a foot taller than every boy.
Yeah, fun fact, fun story. Sarah P, a friend, ride or die to this day. Her dad, was trying to meet new people on the team, encountered my dad, and didn't realize that was my dad. And I went up to the plate in a giant silver helmet, and the guy, and Mr. Pavelski was like, wow, that guy is really mother effing tall. And my dad said, that's my daughter.
I was sitting there. His exact words were, look at the size of that kid. And I started dying laughing. And I thought your dad was going to beat the shit out of him. But that was Mr. Pavelski, who's the best. But she was the only girl. Her and Sarah P were the only girls on the team. And did you tell me about that? Claire spent half of baseball with boys showing her their private parts on the bench. It was part of it. You'd see her on the bench going, pull your pants up.
That's why they quit.
He's like, all they're doing
fun of showing everyone their penis to me. I was that.
Penises at baseball. I don't know why.
Mom!
Okay, but I wasn't there for the penises. I was there to play baseball.
When you put a girl on,
but that's not that you
there.
I don't know.
Mom!
I'm out. I'm asking another question. We're moving on.
Hey, truth.
God.
Truth. Mom's got her truth juice going.
This is our family. This is what our family Instagram would look like, a shit show.
It'd be dope. What was your favorite baby trend?
What do you mean, style-wise?
Yeah.
Like, what was trendy?
Like for you guys or for your brothers?
Us.
For us, because it's just the two of us.
Well, I thought you were asking me as a mom. I have other children.
There you go.
No, you don't.
Let's see. Childhood trends. Well, God, the stupid Justice store.
Limited
to. But I did love Libby Lou. I take you guys to Libby Lou. I thought it was super fun. Kelly got lice at Libby Lou.
Multiple times.
She got lice from wearing the wigs. Love Libby Lou. We'd go for every birthday party and dress up, and I'd bring these pictures home. And your dad goes, "Why do you take them to places and let them dress up like hookers?"
Okay, true though, because
it was like you guys looked really old even when you were young. And it would be like a sequin tube top and the sparkle pants and the big wig. And I thought you guys were so cute. And your dad just was not having the Libby Lou vibe.
Well, for Libby Lou, you would dress up and then dance in front of the mall.
Didn't everyone?
Yes, in front of strangers who would film you.
It was bad.
What the fuck is that about?
It was bad. How about you go to Libby Lou and get all dressed up, and then I'd take you over to J. Penney to get you and your friends pictures taken at the mall. The mall portrait.
For our 10th birthday. Kelly, we didn't talk about this. On our 10th birthday, me and Kelly literally asked for a photo shoot for our birthday.
I forgot about that though.
I took him to J. Penney for a photo shoot.
What is J.
Penney?
Jason Penny. Yeah. Just got clarified.
Before there was Target, there was J. Penney.
Okay. Oh, this was my last question for like the childhood era. What was it like raising twins with other moms who also had twins?
Actually, very helpful. A lot of alcohol, all of our husbands worked late. We would be exhausted. I mean, they had 3 people that had twins at the same time. Boy and a girl.
In our neighborhood.
Yeah, on our street.
Yeah.
A boy and a girl, fraternal, and then my guys are identical. And we would just get together. It kept us from losing our mind. Like, do you guys remember we'd go over to Mrs. Cleary's and I just wanted to sit down and have a cocktail, and we would throw cheese puffs into the grass and have you guys go find them for snacks.
We had dogs. So
we would throw them out, or then we'd have all you kids eat McDonald's and we'd just lock you on the gate on the deck. It was helpful, but
We were literally a petting zoo.
Yes.
Yep.
True.
Yeah.
But every set of twins was different, so we helped each other.
Mm-hmm.
Good balancing act.
It was good. I feel very blessed for that. To have the help. And you guys grew up with 80 million twins. I'm surprised you're not putting all them on here.
They'll be soon.
Soon. Yeah, I was actually just talking about with my trainer today because I had a little ankle sprain, but whatever. Was talking about how it's so normal to be a twin where we're from,
Yeah.
and that's why I've never thought of like the mom's perspective. Like that's probably like super normal.
For us, there was 3 of us, and all of our husbands worked nights, so we had dinner together most nights. We spent every holiday together. You guys grew up in a pack of 6 kids, all
So that's so
all
sad.
twins.
Mm-hmm.
And then your brothers would just like shoot airsoft guns at you and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I have a scar to prove it. Yay.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is elementary, like middle school vibes.
Okay.
What is something you did not expect with our first official part of school?
What do
Like
you mean?
growing,
Elementary school?
Like when we went into school, what was something you weren't expecting with me and Claire when we actually, instead of like preschool?
This is Kelly. Kelly, as I said, was just this sweet little pumpkin that Claire was her mother from the moment she was born. Claire just took care of Kelly, got her food, got her dress, made sure she could get on her bike. Kelly always had to ride behind her on her bike. We get to kindergarten and Kelly develops this temper. Like unbelievable temper. I got called into the principal's office like 3 times just for kindergarten because God forbid Kelly had to do a math box instead of paint.
Hell no.
And the principal would call me and I'd have to go into the school and be like, they were laughing, but they're like, we don't know what to do with her. She's got her little pigtails and she's sitting with her arms crossed in the nurse's office. And I'm like, what happened? And they're like, we were supposed to paint, but we had to do a math box. It was that kind of stuff with Kelly. Kelly had a roaring personality in kindergarten. Spunky. Claire and I could not control her anymore. She had broken free.
Spicy.
It was spicy.
Well, come on. Would you rather do math boxes or paint? Sorry, Mrs. O'Connell.
That, and I was not prepared for the boy crazy. The other thing I was not expecting is you 2 just grew up with your brothers and all these little babies. You were so freaking boy crazy in kindergarten, and every boy came like below your chest. You guys looked like 5th graders in kindergarten. And Claire especially, her and one of the other twins.
Do not say any last podcast.
She
Mom!
loved him.
Kelly, you're bleeping that out. Mom, we're not saying
No!
names.
This is full transparency.
Mom!
Who cares?
No.
Okay, I just got edited. I apologize, Claire. So Claire and this one of the other Twinkies loved this boy, and they came up literally to Claire's chest, and she would get all dressed up. This was a girl who was like riding her bike and wrestling with her brothers and getting into all kinds of trouble. And suddenly she was putting skirts on every day in kindergarten. Kelly was angry, and Claire was like this super girly girl, like talking about boys all the time. And I'm like, you are 5 years old. You are 5 and I'm in trouble because you look like you're 12.
Killing the game in kindergarten.
I was not prepared for the boy craziness. And I think the boy thing dominated elementary and junior high.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody liked the same boy. You 2 really never liked the same boy. You 2 have very different tastes. And
we have rules.
Never had that problem. I don't think you one time liked the same guy.
No.
But the other Twinkies all liked this kid too. And oh my God, Claire was just obsessed. So I wasn't expecting that. That was a shocker.
Do you think
Sorry.
that went away?
No. Well, the boy craziness?
Yeah, like when do you think it went away?
Like a week ago.
Yeah.
Like maybe this summer. I honestly, when I think you guys turned 21 and can go to the bars and entered adulthood, I think then it died down. Otherwise, it was like
Boys.
I think you guys felt like a race. The first girl that talks to them that they feel comfortable with wins. And I mean, Claire is so competitive. She was in it. And Kelly always had her eye on the hidden gem. Kelly never went for the obvious one. She always went for the one that was like quiet in the corner. She'd sneak up in there. And you always had a boyfriend. Claire wanted what she wanted. And so did everyone else. And it was a nightmare. But she dressed super cute for all of elementary school because of that. So thank you, boys.
Thank you, Mom. Okay, next
Boys
question.
were not your brothers were not girl crazy in junior high and
No, they
elementary.
weren't.
So I wasn't expecting it. All your brothers cared about was, you know, kickball at recess. You guys were like, who wants to be my partner for Foursquare?
True.
Bro, it
So
worked.
that's when I became the lunch lady. Yes. I was.
Yes.
Yes, our mom was the lunch lady of our elementary school to make sure our brothers didn't beat up anyone or no one beat up our brothers. And we weren't flirting on boys that were going up to our pretty much our belly buttons.
Yeah, belly
no,
buttons.
No, because I know they've told you I was pretty strict about the dress code. No, like hiking up the skirt in kindergarten.
Oh, never.
And no spaghetti straps in
Oh,
elementary school. I was
never.
like, that's for the carnival. No.
Oh my god.
That's for Libertyville
Carnival.
days only.
True. Okay, but true.
True. Well, this question is, what was it like seeing us transition from middle school to high school? Like the 8th grade to freshman year. 'Cause I feel like that's like one of the weirdest years ever.
Mhm.
Lovely. Well, not lovely. I'm going to take that
No,
back.
I was like, huh?
Kelly transitioned lovely because I think
You know, I broke my back.
she
going to
broke
high
her
school.
back. She had surgery. Kelly was going to have surgery and she was just like full of
You're just living life.
painkillers. So she
Yeah,
was pretty
I
mellow.
was chilling.
And Claire was so insecure about her looks. Why? None of us know. But she was so insecure. She wore gray outfits every day. And she would walk to school with her earphones in. And one of my friends drove past her once and her earphones weren't even plugged in. She just didn't want to talk to anybody on her way. And Kelly, like all drugged
Still
up.
true though. Still
It
true.
was
Sorry.
the freshman year of high school was very strange. I mean, Kelly met the cute boy. Claire was finding herself.
And I
Claire
went
was
on my
like a
very
transition.
first date.
Claire was into grout fits.
Thanks, Mom.
No, you actually were though. Like you
were.
did like
only
gray
wore
outfits.
You only wore gray. Like you didn't want to stand out your freshman year, like at all. You wanted to just go. You've always been, I need to read the room and know what the room is and feel comfortable. Kelly was on so much medication, she just went.
I had nothing to care about.
True. So that was
Well, and that was like the first time I was ever a freshman on varsity. So like I was so not used to like senior humor, like adult humor, that I thought I was getting bullied.
well,
And I wasn't.
You got a lot of attention from upperclassmen boys, and I don't think you knew what to do with it. And their brothers are psychotic, and their brothers were watching their every move, and there were a lot of upperclassmen talking to you guys, and you just didn't know what to do with it. I'm just like, what is the problem? They're cute. And you'd be like, ugh.
I was like, no, Mom,
That's
no.
why I didn't have my first kiss until on my 16th birthday.
In front of you.
No, yeah, right in front of me. I did see the whole thing. I saw Kelly's too.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Probably. So now we're on to the high school because that was the transition.
Okay.
What do you think our biggest lesson was learned in high school?
You guys were insecure in the beginning and you thought other people judged you. You really did. You really were worried like what other people thought of you. It was good for me as a mom to see when you finally let go and were just yourselves. Everyone that you thought was judging you or disliked you was lovely to you. And it was all in your head. I think girls get in their heads like they don't like me, or I'm not included, or I'm not cool enough, or I'm too tall, or whatever it is. And when you guys let that go in high school, the whole world opened up. And all these people that you guys were worried about or leery about, you realized were just trying to be your friends, you know? And it didn't take you guys long to figure out, but that was hard for me to watch because there's nothing as a mom you can do about it. Your mom can gas you up all day long, but in high school, you've got to figure it out on your own. And once you guys figured out that just be yourself, it worked out so much better. It just did. And everyone was so nice to you guys once you let your guard down and just accepted it.
And now all I need is validation from you.
Yep. Literally, that's it. Just our mama.
You
All
just
I do is gas you guys up. How
No,
much
but
more
not-
validation?
no,
do
but
you
that's all
need?
I need now. It's just you, Ma.
Okay.
I am
Okay.
always with. If you can't tell, I'm always at home.
Yeah.
You are always since probably my freshman year of high school. Like I'm at home a lot because I
Well,
like hanging out here.
Kelly had her back surgery, so she was home with me for 3 months, which was very hard on Claire because she was still in the grout fit stage. And she was a freshman on varsity, and she was all alone without Kelly for the first time in her life.
Mhm.
And Kelly was home with me, just getting TLC all day. Of course, she was in a wheelchair, so she kind of needed me to take care of her.
Yeah.
And Claire was on her own at school. But honestly, I think it helped you, Claire. I do. I think it helped you. You didn't have any choice but to stand on your own 2 feet. If Kelly was there, you might have stayed in that shy stage for the rest of your life.
Mm-hmm.
You found your
And
voice.
I
You had
didn't.
no choice. No. You became very badass pretty quick.
Yep.
Thank you. A little too bossy in the beginning, but I
There is no such thing. What do they say about women? Life cuts them down enough. Don't ever cut a woman down. Let them go.
Nice, Ma.
Let them go.
but still, I was still like really freaking bossy.
Yes.
Like it was like not in like a fun leadership way. It was like,
Well, because when you're young girls and you're not secure in yourself, you don't feel comfortable speaking up as things go along.
Mhm.
So you let things build up. And when you let things build up, they come out as an explosion. And then after you explode, you're like, shit, that was not that big of a deal.
Mhm.
Then you have regret and guilt. Like it's finding you're just speaking matter of factly and speaking directly as you go along keeps things very calm and very honest.
Mhm.
But when you're younger and insecure, it builds up. And when it builds up, it comes out like,
I mean, I kind of had a moment like that 2 weeks ago, but it wasn't like because I was insecure, just because I suck at transitioning place to place. And I didn't, and literally, I was just talking about this with literally you guys like 45 minutes ago before we got on this, that coming here was like such a, like, not a culture shock, but a COVID shock that I had an explosion. But I don't think it was an insecure explosion like I used to have in high school, where I
No,
was so
you're
scared to
very-
say how I felt that I had literally like blew up.
you're very regimented. You like a routine. You do not do well without a routine.
No.
And when your routine changes, you need to set another
Mhm.
routine so you're uncomfortable until you get it. I think that's very normal.
Yeah.
Kelly likes to be home. She likes to be with her dad. She likes to be with me. She likes to be with her brothers.
Mhm.
She has a hard time leaving home, where you have a hard time just transitioning. Like you are not
Yeah.
as attached to home as Kelly is. Like,
Yeah.
you're just not. You've got
You're always gone. Like
You're
you've been
always
gone
gone.
since we were 18.
you need to keep, you know that I keep an eye on Kelly. As long as someone's got an eye on Kelly, you're good. You go off and do your thing. But you need that routine. And Kelly just likes the comfort of home. Like
Mhm.
when and we're fine with her home. I like her. But like it's just different. You guys have different reasons that you kind of fall apart. Kelly has a hard time leaving home. And you just, once you have a routine down, you're good, Clipper. You just always have been good as long as you know
Mhm.
what to expect and what's going on.
Once my feet are planted, as we always say.
Once your feet are planted, then you go.
And then
But
you grow.
I have loved watching you guys. I think somebody just said, oh, Claire's coach just said to her, I feel like I just watched you grow up this week. It is incredible. Your brothers are alpha males, for lack of a better word.
Mhm.
How or why, I don't know. They just are
I
terrors.
don't know where it came from.
They've been terrors.
I don't either.
They've been terrors their entire life, the two of them. Their brothers have no fear.
Mhm.
They do whatever they want to do. They go wherever they want to go. So watching them grow up compared to you guys grow up, I literally could watch when your brains decided, I'm ready for this. And I'm ready for this. And I'm confident enough for this. And girls are so much about confidence.
Mhm.
Like it's everything. And there's different levels of confidence for elementary, junior high, high school, college. And I can see it and I can watch it because we're close and we talk all the time. I can see it on your faces when we talk, you know, like I
Yeah,
know
true.
when you've accepted the spot that you're in and you've moved on to the next one. I think that's hard for girls. And as you grow up into adulthood, I feel like once you actually hit adulthood, you're home free. I do. But going through these stages and realizing what you're allowed to feel and what you're allowed to have a voice in, it's hard because girls are rule followers and you two are real rule followers. But
Word.
once you figure out how much of a voice you're allowed to have at each stage, it's been incredible to watch you guys find it. And you both use them very well, I have to say. Differently, but very well.
Thanks, Mom.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Ma.
You're welcome.
Cute. And it's true. I like being home. Sorry, Claire.
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
Season, no wine.
Oh yeah, no, I hate no wine. How many personality changes did you witness throughout our high school experience?
Oh,
I'm pretty sure I had like at least 4.
Oh, good Lord. Well, we'll start with Kelly. Kelly started high school, in a wheelchair.
A patient.
Went from, she literally, Kelly went to the homecoming dance freshman year and she was so hopped up on narcotics because she wanted to wear high heels. And in order for her back to handle the heels and just going out and dancing, she was so hopped up on prescribed narcotics.
Yeah, these aren't like under the table from
Like
grandma's cabinet.
Spooky like narcotics off the street, like
I was prescribed by a doctor.
Yes, for her back. Like she just kind of floated through the beginning, and then Kelly went through surgery, and she was in her wheelchair, and then she had to go back to school, like in a great amount of pain. Truthfully, like it almost broke Claire. Like the amount of pain Kelly was in almost broke Claire watching it. It just was very hard. And then, of course, Kelly met this cute boy. This cute boy shows up at our house that we've never met before.
The person I put jeans on for.
Yes.
He comes to the house, and I know people hate me for letting them date. My kids have always dated. Everyone can have their own opinions. But I swear to God, this kid showed up at my house, and I didn't know who he was. He looked like he was 30 years old, but he was just a year older. And he
Literally.
went downstairs, and he's the only person that would get in front of Kelly, and she wouldn't cry. She wouldn't cry. And he sat with her on the couch, and he wrapped her up. She was in a lot of pain, wrapped her up, and he put his arm around her, and his arm was completely numb by the time I went down there. And suddenly that kid's comfort for her, I saw her start to come out of the pain and the surgery and the
patient mentality.
The patient mentality. And I was like, when are you coming back? Welcome here anytime. Every day. I'm like, come tomorrow. He stayed for 8 hours on the first date. Their first day was 8 hours.
Dude, it was wild. I was like,
boys were screaming, dad's slamming doors. Who the freak is this kid? I'm like, it was a nightmare. And I'm like, you all go to your rooms. She's not crying.
Yeah, because for some
she's
reason,
okay.
For a side note, after my surgery, every time I saw anyone, I would cry for some reason. It was just like a natural instinct for me. Like even if I just saw Mom walk downstairs, I'm like, why am I crying?
What is wrong with that?
No, and this kid came in. But I will forever love this kid because as much as Claire and I and everybody else tried to get her to come back to life, sometimes you need someone outside your cocoon to bring you out. And when Kelly came out, she came out like gangbusters. She joined everything. 9 months after her surgery, she's running cross country and the captain. She did cosmetics clubs. She did choir. She went on a trip to Italy. Like she did everything. Like
Spain.
Spain. So she went from patient mentality, very unique circumstances, to she just hit the ground running like a pistol. Claire, I think, was more a typical transition. Very pretty girl, uncomfortable in her own skin. Did not like the attention she was getting at all. Where we're all like, why are you upset about this?
The boys would be like, bring it on.
Like all this attention, and she just wanted to be invisible. She wore the gray outfits in the beginning. She was very quiet at school. And for Claire, it was basketball. And freshman year, her very first practice, I think they've already said that Kelly was in her surgery, so it was tough. But I will never forget Claire. I think you might have been the only freshman that ever started as a varsity. And we're sitting in a packed gym. She's never played basketball in that environment, and we're playing Stevenson, which is our big rival. And I'm sitting in the bleachers sick to my stomach because her eyes were like saucers.
So scared.
I could give a shit about the basketball. But as a mom, that look of fear was, I'm going to vomit. I'm like, I am going to vomit. And they called her name out of the huddle and she came running out. Her eyes got even bigger.
She turned white.
White. And I'm like, she's going to freaking throw up. I'm like, I was sick to my stomach. And then the game started and she killed it.
And I bawled out, bitches.
And for her, that was her control thing. After she overcame that fear and played, and it was a packed gym, the crowd cheering.
So full.
I have never played a sport in my life, but I was exhilarated. Like, this is freaking cool. Like, this is a rush, you know? And her eyes calmed down, and she did what she did best and played. And I felt like that was the beginning for you.
And literally everyone was there for you. Like, everyone was there to watch the freshmen play because it's never happened before, which made me want to die.
But I think once a girl overcomes a fear like that, an enormous fear, like a lot of kids are afraid to put themselves in that situation that they might really fail. Like, you could have really failed and you knew it.
Didn't though.
And you didn't. And something with overcoming that fear, I watched you after that game. It was an adrenaline rush. And I'm like, she's good. She is. And that was, so it took her from September to November of her freshman year. And then after that, the grout fits were gone, replaced with those long, skinny, tight skirts she wore every day.
Thank you.
Suddenly not minding all the attention.
Well, fun fact. Stevenson, the high school that we played, was ranked like top 5 in the state. So I was like crapping my pants. And it's not like I remember my stat line of 16 points, 12 boards, 3 blocks, and 2 assists.
It was a big moment. It did bring you out of your shell. It did.
Yeah, it was my first double-double of my career, and it was at home in front of all of my friends. And for some reason, I thought after when I played super well, I literally thought I was going to get a boyfriend. I was like, after this, I will 100% have a boyfriend.
Boy.
And I didn't after that. I didn't. It did not work.
Plenty of invitations. You were just too.
I wanted this super cool guy to come down the bleachers and be like, "Hey, you're really good. Let's go out on a date."
You want a confident guy. Like, you come across as a super confident person, when in reality, we all know she's super shy.
Yes.
You have always been looking for the alpha male confident, and until you figured out what that actually was, I don't think you knew how to find one. I don't.
No.
Plenty of opportunities, but you're just like, you're short, you're nerdy, you're too shy, you don't talk, I don't talk. That's not gonna work.
Yeah, that's not gonna work. No,
but I honestly think every girl needs to have a moment that they put themselves out there at every stage of their life and overcome it. And when you overcome it, you find yourself a little bit. But so many kids are afraid of putting themselves out there. And no judging. Like, if that's all you're comfortable with is being with everybody else and just doing what you feel safe with, that's fine. But you don't grow like that. And I loved watching you two always, because you had each other. That is an unfair handicap. You always had somebody that had your back unconditionally.
Even when you're wrong.
Even when you're wrong. I'm like, I love you anyway, brother.
You two would put yourselves out there to the point that I was up all night crying. Like, why are they doing this to me? And then you would do it.
Oh my God.
I would. I'd be like, why? Why do we have to be in the school musical? Why do we have to run for best president? Why are we doing these things? Can't you just be like everybody else and go with the flow? No. But I think that was your guys' version of your brothers were so alpha male. You guys were like, we're going to do something too. You know,
true.
We're going to put ourselves out there. But every time you did, Claire never had those big eyes at basketball again. And Kelly, after that boy came over, was never introverted again. Kelly wanted everything the school had to throw at her. Just everything. Like, he brought her out of that funk, and then she just took off. It was incredible to watch. Like I said, you two have been like a science experiment. I did not raise you. I simply observed.
And that's on period.
What the hell to do with you two?
Because me and Claire were always talking too fast.
Hey,
You
true.
speak your own weird language.
Oh, what was it like going through the college experience with us? Like choosing a school. We've already said it before, me decommitting and then committing somewhere else. Explain your POV. Because me and Kelly's college decision process was absurd.
I'll be honest, I was not as involved as your dad in the college decision process. I wasn't. And
tell him what's one school you didn't want us to go to. DePaul. That was the one school she didn't want us to go to.
I did.
I didn't know that.
And honestly, I don't even know why.
She was like, no, you can't go there. And we're like, why?
Why?
I don't, you know what? I know I said that. I don't remember. I don't remember. I left that between you. What?
I don't know. I just think it's funny.
I left that between you and your dad to do that. But I have to say, your brothers both did Division I sports at school. So they didn't, and they both went to Jesuit schools. So there was no Greek system. I had a hell of a time with you two at school.
It's Paul.
Oh my God. I went to a Jesuit school too. I didn't have the Greek thing. What a freaking blast.
It's the best.
A blast. And you two were absolutely off the charts wild in the beginning. I didn't sleep for 3 months. And I said to myself, I'm like, every kid has to go through this. Like, you have to what do they say? Got to be the hard sides of an aquarium. Make sure they don't kill themselves, but let them swim in the middle. Like, let them go.
Let us be free.
And we let you guys go, but it was like, holy God.
And we would always tell you everything.
I don't know why. It was
why?
like I was a therapist. Like, I would clear my conscience, like being like, Mom, I just did something so terrible, but I feel so much better telling you. Like, that doesn't change anything about it.
The action's been done. Well, no one died, thank God. We all lived.
Thank God.
But it was fun. Your friends were fun. That school is just good people. But you guys changed a lot there too, because you two were both very adamant from high school to college. You're like, I don't want to go in insecure. You're like, I don't want to be insecure and find myself halfway through college.
Yeah.
I want to know what I want right when I get there. And I think you guys did a really good job. But again, you had each other. It's an unfair advantage. But you guys, even when you were homesick in the beginning, and you two were both very homesick in the beginning, but you threw yourselves into it. Claire's always been so shy, and she was like, we're going out. She dressed up like a girl every day. And Kelly was the same way. Like, they just wanted to go out and not have that insecurity that in high school. Because I think it took you a while in high school to let your guard down, and you found all these fabulous people that you had all along. That it was your own insecurity keeping you from those people. And both of you learned it, which is important. But then when you went to college, like, I don't want to miss a minute.
Yeah, I don't want to miss a minute. An opportunity to meet someone amazing because I'm insecure.
Yeah,
Mom, I want you to describe the first day of our freshman year.
Yeah, first night.
Oh my God.
Of course.
No. Move-in day. Move-in day. Dad's perspective of move-in day. He talks about it every time we're on campus, but because Dad can sometimes dominate conversation. But I want to hear Mom's point of view of move-in day.
Mine is different. I rode with crying Claire in the car.
Oh,
heartbroken. Couldn't be away from the boy.
And me and Dad were like singing. I was like doing my hair in the car.
I had Claire like, I'm gonna die without him. Then we pull in. we pull into campus. Now we've already done this with the older boys.
Yeah.
It was not like this. We pull in. And I think we bought a little too much stuff. So we pull in.
Oh yeah.
We pull in, and
we always do.
And at DePaul, you pull your car up and you empty all your stuff onto a tarp, and then they carry it up to your room for you.
We moved in, and it was beautiful.
We had so much shit that they're like, "Is this all yours?"
Yeah, like they kept saying, like, "Are you done?" We're like, "No."
We never did this with the boys. For some reason, the girls had like 10 things of Advil, 20 things of shampoo. Like, You know,
like every time I went to Target, I'm like, Mom, I have to have body
we
wash.
had chairs, pillows, tapestries, blankets, lights. I mean, everything, wall hangings. It was crazy. So they move it all up, and we went someplace else where they moved it up. And then we
stood in the hallway and saw them bring all the
you guys
stuff
did,
in.
but Dad and I went somewhere.
Yeah.
And then we came upstairs and set up the room. And a guy they went to high school with also went to school there. And we're on campus 5 minutes, and we see him and half the football team. And they were the nicest kids. They met one of their best friends there, and they just helped. Like they helped set everything up, and they helped move us in. And it's like the girls wanted us to leave as soon as they had made some friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, low-key did not cry when you left.
No, because their buddy from high school introduced them to their buddies, to his buddies.
And now they're still our best friends.
Yeah, like they're still their best friends. They've had the same friends all 4 years, and well, minus one. And then they just, and then they just had a blast. Sorry, Kelly can edit that out. Sorry.
Well,
Minus one.
you know, just my bully.
Oh, like Claire had cried the whole way down in the car, and 5 minutes after being on campus and meeting all these kids, they were like, "Bye, Mom, bye, Dad."
Yes,
And we drove
see ya.
home. I was like shell shocked. I'm like, wait, I thought you were super shy, and I thought Kelly was super attached to me. I'm like, what happened?
Still am, but just better at coping.
Which is better.
No, but you guys did not stop freshman year.
No. It showed in my GPA too.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did. Fun fact, Kelly did not call me on Mother's Day freshman year. Did not call me on Mother's Day.
Dude, why did you not call
For
her?
3 weeks.
It's in like
3 weeks.
I talk to you. I probably call you 4 times a day.
Yeah, 3 weeks. Did not
Oh
call
my god,
on
dude, me
Mother's Day.
too.
Yeah, Claire does too.
And I'm like, you know what? She's in trouble. She's in trouble. Something bad's going on. And it was her grades.
My grades were so bad.
She was enjoying Netflix and her cozy room that I mistakenly set up for her.
And I just went out every night.
I did too my freshman year, so.
But you went to class.
I did.
Yeah, me and Kelly in classes together was not the move.
No. And I unfortunately knew you weren't going to class. And I wish I didn't. I wish I was one of those moms that was just like, oh, I'll just wait for the report card. But no,
You always knew.
Kelly's not speaking to me. So I'm like, what the hell did she freak out?
Yeah, you literally were like, give me the password of your e-services.
Yeah, and like I'm very competitive with my grades, but then I don't like to study at the same time. So it was that dynamic where I just didn't study at all and didn't care.
An internal battle.
Yeah.
They were ordering late night cheeseburgers and not going to class. Kelly came home freshman year from college crying that nothing fit. They were broke, they were chunky, and they had shitty grades. I'm like,
And that's on period.
How was your year, girls?
It was lit.
But
It was awesome.
honestly, as a mom, you learned a lot. You learned everything you needed to know that year.
I did.
Hard to watch.
Yeah.
I'm happy I learned it that year though, because then everyone, it's like freshman year, no one remembers. Like everyone did something super cringy or weird or.
Okay, sorry, we had to cut her off. But so I have a question for Mommy. I know that when you and the dad started dating, you ended up getting married, but you met the first day of college.
Very first day.
Is it weird seeing us not experience the same thing?
I'll be honest, yes, because I think I thought that what I went through was normal.
No.
No.
Wrong there, baby.
So I thought when you guys got to school, you'd meet someone because I met their dad the very first day of college. I was walking across campus and I said hi to him. Literally, all I said was, hey, how are you? Very chatty like Kelly. And he, being very shy like Claire, shoved his hands in his pockets and ran, literally turned and ran away from me. I'm like, ooh, that is so cute. No one's ever done that to me before.
I would be
For
like,
some reason,
rude.
for some reason, the image of Dad running with his hands in his pockets is really weird.
A 6'5" guy that's like super skinny, like running.
Who runs with their hands in their pockets?
You know, he was like so nervous. He ran and I was like, ooh, I like him. I'm gonna go find him. And then we were together ever since after that. So I just thought, because my world apparently is very small outside my family, that that's how it happened. And I didn't realize, no. Like the girls are teaching me a ton of stuff, like dating. Like it takes you a long time. Got to date a lot of people to figure out, how do you even know what you want right away? Like
there's 7 billion people in the world.
I do feel like I got very lucky because I adore your dad, but still adore him after 30 years of marriage. But I realize now watching YouTube grow as people and to go through all your stages, how can you find someone when you're not done growing yet as a person? And if you don't date a lot of people, how are you going to know what you click with? Because you two both had an idea of what you wanted, and that is
opposite.
You have both dated exactly what you thought you wanted, and you were like, no.
Yeah.
No. So I'm learning a lot from you guys too. Like I know now that your dad and I were very odd, I guess. It worked out for
You're
me.
1 in 7 billion, Ma.
Worked out for us.
Literally
So,
1 in
Ma,
7
do you think you would last? Say if you met Dad in our day and age, like dating apps,
no, your dad would
social
have
media.
Your dad would have absolutely dumped me 100%. I don't think I could handle it. I don't. The constant watching you guys, like they left me on red, or it's been 2 hours they haven't responded. That would make me freaking crazy.
Double texting. For a while, me and Kelly would not double text. We're not even giving them the audacity.
I think that is ridiculous. If you have something to say, why can't you say it? Like, my thoughts don't always come at the same time.
But then it's like, I don't care for double texting at all now. Like I'll text when I want.
Think
but
you guys
for so long, I would be like, no, Mom, that's weird.
You guys
have
oh God, yeah.
You guys have way too many rules. Like there's too many rules for social media. Like, no, you can't double text. You don't talk to someone if they text you late at night. You don't do so many.
Yeah, and I still stand by that.
Like, for example, like I got a late night text once here, and I said, oh no, I can't respond. I'll text him tomorrow and tell him I was sleeping. And Mom goes, just answer.
I understand. I guess I was never called for a booty call because I had a boyfriend all through high school, and then I met your dad the first day of college. So like, that just wasn't a thing. I don't get it. But you're like, no, if they text you late at night, they just want one thing. No, you can text me during the day. I didn't get all that.
Oh, I have a side note. If Mom, if your ex-boyfriend from high school ever listens to this, Stu, you are an absolute legend in our family, and we talk about you all the time.
Stu.
Love
you, Dad, but Stu.
I can guarantee you he's not listening, so feel free to speak.
Yes, he's a legend, and then Dad swooped in and had a savage love moment with Mom.
I do not know how you have brain space for that many thoughts. Like, to me, you're trying to have a conversation with someone. If I had to not only have the conversation, but it has to be at the right time of the day, and you have to get it all out in one text because you can't double text. So if you change your mind, you can't call. They have to call you first. They have to text you. Too much. I wouldn't get my thoughts out.
Mom, it's called playing the game.
Playing the game.
I think that's bullshit. Just be honest.
And I'm terrible at it.
Yeah,
yes,
I think we don't do it anymore, but I definitely did it up until this year, I think.
It's just like such a plotted game. Oh, and Kelly used to. She doesn't anymore. She used to morph into anyone like.
Oh, yeah.
Kelly was like kind of the dreamer dater. Like, if she liked a sporty guy, she'd be sporty. If she liked a stoner guy, she'd be a stoner girl. Mm-hmm. If she liked, her clothes changed. Like, what did you call yourself in the first episode with your fashion? Fashion disorder.
Oh, I had multiple fashion disorder.
Multiple fashion disorder. It's because she would try to morph, and she figured out finally that doesn't work. Just be yourself.
No.
Just be yourself. Claire has no problem being herself. Take it or leave it. That's how.
And sometimes I have problems being myself because sometimes I can go a little overboard.
No, you never have a problem being yourself. You just don't always like it. But it's genuine.
Yes.
But you are the most genuine person I've ever met. And
Thanks,
Kelly
Mom.
has found her way to genuine. And don't you think it's lighter? Honesty is light.
Honesty is light. I say that way too much.
Do you want to morph into someone to attract someone that's not going to like you? That just makes no sense to me.
Don't do it.
Well, Mom has not seen it yet, but the David Floss episode, it talks about the analogy of your love life being a puzzle.
Mm-hmm.
And the four corners of your puzzle are like your family, your hobbies, and what you do in your free time. Your what was it? Like your friends, and then your own moral interest. And then like you connect all the puzzle pieces, and everyone's making their own image. And people who date based off of other people's puzzles have completely different images, and then you realize like, oh shit, I can't date this person anymore. It actually changed my life, Mom. You have to watch it. It literally changed my life.
I'm going to watch it because I think it'll help me, because I don't understand you people the way you do things now. I don't.
And they talk about that, but he said that his dad, the biggest piece of his puzzle was his mom in the show, and I was like, well, it's all parents, which is so true. But then he goes into like that your other three corners have to be so much more heavy, and then you'll find that one perfect piece that will fit perfectly into the puzzle, and that'll be your person. And I thought that was great. I was like, yes.
It's the same thing I've been telling you guys since you were little. You have to be yourself. And you two took a long time to be comfortable in your own skin. You were with each other. Like Kelly, for example, any guy she's ever broken up with always likes her way more after they broke up.
Every time.
Because she stops morphing into this person she thinks she has to be and is herself. And she's adorable. Thanks, Mom. Like, you have to be yourself. I don't know why in this day and age it wasn't like that when I was younger.
Social media.
Like, I'll give you an
social media.
So your dad and I went on a date in college. We weren't really dating yet. I had a boyfriend. He had a girlfriend. Yes, my girl said
they were cheaters.
I don't know how that worked.
Yeah.
We did. We both had a boyfriend and girlfriend, and we went to a bar one night, and he was asking me about my life, and he's like, well, what do you want out of your life? Like, what do you want to do? You know your dad. That's a big question for him.
Yeah.
Yes. He's very orderly.
He's very orderly and very quiet. And I said, I just want to have a family. I want to have like 10 kids. I want to be in the PTA. And he looked me dead in the eye and he goes, no one is ever going to go out with you. And I'm like, well, that's what I want. That's what I want in my life. I want to be a mom. I know I'm in college, but I want to be a mom. It's all I have ever wanted. He married me. Worked out great. Honesty is light, girls. Speak it into fruition.
If I told someone that I wanted to be a mom or marry them on the first date,
I didn't say I wanted to marry him. I just said I want to have kids. And I don't want a big career. I said I'll work, but I want to be there for my kids. I never said I wanted to marry your dad. I just said I want to get married and have kids. And I didn't even apply to go to college, I'll be honest, because I didn't want to go. My mother made me go. She filled out my application and made me go to college. And it was the right thing to do. But it was more important for me. I always just wanted to be a mom. And your dad's like, you can't tell people that. He goes, don't ever say that again to a guy. And I didn't, because I already met the guy. Done. And it worked out nicely. And when he bitched when we were broke, when you kids were little, I'm like, I told you going into this.
I am not working.
I'm working at school. I am the lunch lady. I am very important.
I am getting paid.
I am very important. I have to go out there and ref the football game at lunch.
Period. Exactly. No, okay, I mean, those were most of our questions. But now my question to you is, do you have any questions for us?
Well,
open mic, Mom.
To prepare any. Let's see. Question for you guys. How did you two feel being the youngest of such an overbearing family, watching your every move?
I didn't know any different.
Yeah.
So, fine. I
never
were overbearing.
Are you kidding me? Fun fact, their brother Jimmy, one of the friends in his friend group, was talking to Kelly this summer, and somehow it slipped out in front of Jimmy that this boy was talking
Not ideal.
Dad spilled the beans.
Someone spilled the beans. I'm going to say it was your dad. And this guy ghosted Kelly so fast it would have made your head spin. And I asked Jimmy, I go, did you say something to that boy? And he goes, no. But luckily the mom network, because we're all friends, Jimmy, their brother, texted in the group chat to all of his friends, if any of you are effing talking or looking at one of my sisters, I will hunt you down and kill you.
Yep.
That is how these two grew up. Not
So
always
we
easy.
Yeah, we learned to do something else. Ooh, Claire's frozen.
Sorry, Claire had a stare going, and Kelly thought we were frozen.
Yeah.
We're back.
Kelly thought I was frozen because I was just listening intently.
Kelly was in panic mode because Claire's eyes got big.
That's
No, but seriously.
I know. I'm being honest. I lost train of my thoughts. Sorry.
Everything is all what you know, and you guys grew up with very domineering brothers. It was a test to walk in our house. If you wanted to take out, first of all, my girls were never just picked up in a car. Their brothers and dad would never allow, even in high school. If you were going to go out with them, it had to be a date, and you had to come to the door and shake hands. And if you gave my husband or one of those boys a limp handshake, it was the worst experience of your
I
life.
didn't get to go.
Yeah, it was just brutal.
Kelly had a guy give the limp handshake, and my husband went upstairs and like it was ridiculous the way they grew up. It was. I think it was harder. But Claire, are we boring?
What?
Are we boring?
It's almost 10:00 here.
Oh, all right. I'm sorry.
No, you can keep going. I'm sorry, but I'm just yawning because I normally go to bed by 9:30.
She's an athlete, college athlete. But anyway,
You can edit that out.
It's hard that they were under a spotlight from their dad and their brothers constantly. I felt like I was constantly buffering them. I edited everything to the boys and dad. They had to go on dates. It had to be a date. There was no just going out in the middle of the night, no picking up and going somewhere. It had to be a date, or those three men in their lives were going to lose their shit.
Mm-hmm. And it was just not worth it. I'm like, oh
No.
I have to deal with them all the time and hang out with this one person one time, or never deal with it ever and just have peace and.
But why don't people date anymore? What happened to a date? Like, is that too much commitment for your age?
Supposedly.
No, so like I like a good date.
I mean,
I want to go on dates. I want to go on dates, but that doesn't mean I'm dating them.
No, but it doesn't have to.
Yeah.
But like sitting at a table and talking to someone is the best way to know.
That is very nerve-wracking for our generation. Like we're used to I feel like a big thing for us is people meet them at bars. They meet them when they're already at their confidence level, if you know what I mean.
Oh yeah, when they're drunk.
Yeah. And so that's when people usually meet someone and then they start talking that way. It's very rare when you meet someone sober, go on a sober date, and then like.
Well, why can't you go on a sober date?
Oh, I can. Like
I can.
But like I do. But I feel like that is very typical. I don't know. I don't really know why. I can't give you an answer.
Do we all remember when Kelly went out with the kid that had the audacity to beep the horn from the driveway? I thought your dad and your brothers were going to beat the shit out of him.
Like, Kelly.
You hear the horn, and I'm like, oh my God, please tell me the boys didn't hear it. And they were like, rip shit.
They ran outside.
They're like, is that guy beeping for you?
And then I didn't open the door yet. He thought it was me opening the door. And Tommy, Dad, and Jim standing there. And he's like, are you going to come to the car? And I'm like, I'm not outside yet. And it was just the boys standing there, and he drove away.
Oh.
Do you guys remember when boys used to ding dong ditch you in junior high, and that was like the big sign of like they like you or whatever, and your brother Jimmy climbed up the tree and would shoot him with their airsoft gun?
Yeah.
I would be like,
oh God.
They would.
Oh wait, I never got to tell my side.
Oh yeah, your side.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Miss Tangent Queens over there.
Usually you that's the tangent queen.
All right, go ahead and go. We're sorry. We're covered.
I didn't even forget your question.
The overbearing boys.
Growing up in an overbearing male household.
Oh, I mean, as Kelly said, it's like something we never thought was different. But I think meeting other people's families and realizing that our family was very different than that was more shocking than anything else.
In what way?
Because, I mean, we know everything about all of our family members, like even the boys' stuff. I mean, obviously they don't go into great detail because it's my brother and I don't really want to know. But like, I feel like whenever they're like, I'm going through a hard time or like any personal stuff, like we know everything about it. So when people like aren't that close with their family, I'm not confused, but it's definitely like a culture shock of like, wait, our family. I mean, that was it. Go ahead, Mom.
I just feel like every family is different. You have to respect. People just do things differently, you know. The way they communicate is different. We're very verbal as a family, and I think because you have older brothers, that just dominated the household, and they were very adamant about you two. Like they had a mom and dad, and they had two brothers hovering, big brothers hovering over them. But every family is different, like different dynamic. Families with older sisters, I honestly think families with older sisters and younger brothers, those are the best men. Find yourself a man with an older sister. They just seem to get it. They can buy tampons. They're not freaked out by anything. They've got good table manners. Like that to me is the golden goose.
And they like gossip.
True.
Hanging out with their sister.
Very true. And that's all I have.
Do you got anything else, Ma?
I don't.
Wait, finishing thoughts,
I have a question. What is your word, like, what is your advice for people our age still trying to find a special someone or even themselves?
Oh, I know exactly what to say. Be yourself. Don't keep up with the crowd. Don't bend to social media trends. If you put your genuine self out there, I promise you will find the right person. I also think girls forget sometimes. Men are attracted to comfort. You can be as beautiful as a supermodel, but if you are uncomfortable to be with and a guy can't get vulnerable with you, you're not going to get a second date or a phone call or anything else. Just be yourself, and the person you connect with the best is who you're supposed to be. I feel like your generation tries to manipulate it by pictures on social media and morphing yourself into things instead of just being their genuine personalities. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
That totally makes sense. That's really good, Mom.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bottle of wine in. It's flowing now.
Alrighty, well, thanks, Mom, for coming on.
Thanks for having me, guys.
We wanted you on at the perfect time, and I feel like that was now ready to really get to know us and get us to know us deeper, because you're just like our third eye.
Well, we're
Literally
close, but we're very close. I don't know why that's so strange.
It's not strange. I don't think
That's
it's
strange.
Yeah, I don't think it's strange.
Oh no,
at all.
it definitely bothers people that you guys tell me things.
Well, I tell you everything. I almost tell
Yeah,
Dad
it's not some things. It's
everything.
everything.
Yeah, but I don't judge you guys. I just want to help you on your journey.
You're our guide. You're literally our third eye.
I would honestly, the minute you guys graduated high school, it was like, I'm done. Now I'm just here to help.
No, Mom's just like,
I've raised you. Do your best. I'll hear anything you have to dish because I'm no longer responsible.
and we're just besties now. I feel like we're
We're
all just
besties.
You're 22 years old.
I know.
You're grown-ass women now.
Who knew?
Who knew?
Who knew?
Who knew?
I'd be lost without my girls.
Oh, love you, Mom.
Love you guys.
Love you, Mom.
Thanks for having me. Miss you, Claire Bear.
Yeah, dream girl, dreaming, I be dreaming. Missing all the days you got me fiending. I said I love you, babe, you know I mean it. Hey, yeah, dream girl, I be dreaming.